It's Tuesday, September 29th, and this is now on H&N.
Final preps are underway before President Trump and Joe Biden take the debate stage here in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm Skylar Henry with more on their first matchup.
The health department's new director says DOH is making progress in the battle against COVID-19.
And I think what we really need to remember is that the best way to get the economy going again is to have a healthy community.
New details to report regarding last year's deadly shooting at the Pearl Harbor Naval Shipyard.
Those members of the command could have evaluated his demeanor, his temperament.
These stories, plus Maui's mayor is calling for even more testing before Trans-Pacific visitors return to the Valley Isle, coming up on This Is Now.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having lunch with us here at This Is Now. Ashley and Jonathan here. We got a lot of news to get to today. We're going to begin with those latest coronavirus numbers.
Health officials say 2 more patients with COVID-19 have died, bringing Hawaii's official death toll to 134. DOH is also reporting 87 new cases today. The county breakdown shows 80 are on Oahu, 3 are on the Big Island, 2 on Maui, and we believe 2 residents were diagnosed out of state. There are currently more than 1,900 active cases statewide. We want to take you live now to Cleveland, where President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden will face off in the first debate of the 2020 presidential election. It's all happening in just a few hours. It's scheduled for 3 p.m. Hawaii time, and you can watch it right here on KHNL. The debate is being held in the battleground state of Ohio on the campus of Case Western Reserve University. That's where Skylar Henry is with the latest on what viewers can expect.
President Trump left the White House this afternoon without taking questions, just hours before his first showdown with Democratic nominee Joe Biden. With 5 weeks left in a campaign marked by personal attacks, the candidates seem eager to confront each other on stage.
I'm prepared to go out and make my case as to why I think he's failed.
People are going to vote for him because they feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for him, too. I feel sorry for him.
Today, the president's team complained that Biden aides refused to allow a pre-debate inspection of electronic earpieces. The Trump campaign said they refused a Biden request for multiple breaks during the 90-minute event. Organizers hope the format of this evening's matchup will spur debate.
If they interchange with each other and we feel that the public has learned something with regard to their stance on the important issues, then we call that a success.
The crowd inside the auditorium here at Case Western Reserve University will be small, no more than 100 people. But Cleveland officials are bracing for the possibility of large protests off campus. A security perimeter has been set up around the debate hall. 300 members of the Ohio National Guard have been deployed to assist law enforcement in the area. The Secret Service and the FBI are also on hand.
Cleveland has been a peaceful place lately, and let's keep it that way.
This debate was supposed to be held at Notre Dame University in Indiana, but the school cited the coronavirus pandemic when it withdrew in July. Signs are already on the seats here at the debate hall, indicating social distancing will be enforced. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Cleveland, Ohio.
New today, an investigation into last year's Pearl Harbor Naval Shipyard shooting reveals the attacker's history with mental health and behavior issues did not raise an alarm. Here's Grace Lee with much more.
A Navy investigation found several failures during the Pearl Harbor shipyard shooting. That is when a sailor killed 2 civilians, wounded another, and then turned the gun on himself last December. Hawaii News Now has obtained that report and broke the story online earlier this morning. Last December, Gabriel Romero was on armed watch for the USS Columbia at Dry Dock 2. He opened fire, killing civilian workers Vincent Capoy Jr., Roldan Augustin, and wounding Roger Nakamine. Romero then shot and killed himself. In his report, the commander of the U.S. Pacific Fleet said that the USS Columbia was not proactive and, quote, underdiagnosed and did not properly manage Romero's mental health condition. The Navy's commander also said, quote, armed watches should not be treated as a menial task for deficient performers.
Basically was saying, yeah, it was Romero's fault. It was all his responsibility. But at the same time, here, there were failures. He was not performing. He is not qualified to do his job. He was not making progress to qualify for his job. He was showing up late to muster. He was showing up late to all of his training. And it was really a big problem.
For more details on the Navy's investigation, go to hawaiinewsnow.com.
Following a major shakeup in the Ige administration, which resulted in Dr. Bruce Anderson retiring from the Department of Health, the state's new health director opened up about taking over the reins as DOH continues their efforts to get an upper hand on the coronavirus pandemic. Here's our managing editor, Daryl Huff, with Dr. Libby Char.
Why did you want this job?
Oh, I don't know that I did want it. I think I'm part of this community. I thought it was an opportunity for me to step up and try and do what I can. Again, a lot of really terrific people, a lot of really professional people in this department, and decided to try my hand and see if I could help move the department in a good direction.
How would you characterize our performance up to now in making things clear to the public about what they shouldn't do and about the concerns about this disease?
Yeah, I think it's really important that we do message clearly. I think we can do better. And I think one of the things, exactly as you're saying, is, let's make the messaging consistent. Let's make it simple. And let's tell people what we want them to do and how they can keep each other safe. So I think some of that is sharing the information to create some education. That gets back to the transparency, because I think if we can educate people, they understand what's safe and what's not, then they're better equipped to make good decisions that will keep themselves safe and keep me safe and keep you safe. So I think we can definitely do better with regards to messaging. And I think there actually is a concerted effort underway to do exactly that.
There's a lot of concern about some of the county rules. Do you feel like that could be loosened up somewhat? That there's signs out there that we could loosen things up a little bit more speedily than what is now envisioned by those grids?
We spent hours and hours. This is from the City and County of Honolulu, and the Department of Health had some subject matter experts there helping, as well as some of the other folks from the state as well as the county. And I thought it was actually a really promising thing, because everybody sat there collaboratively and all weekend working on this, and with the back and forth and the conversation and whatnot. And it's not perfect, but I think it's pretty soundly based on science, to the best of what we know right now. And as I said, this is a novel coronavirus. It's evolving as we speak, and we're learning more about it week by week. But I think the decisions were made quite soundly based on science. And then the mayor needs to take that advice into account, and he needs to add in other factors and weigh in other factors as well to come up with a final decision. So I think that was a good collaborative effort, and I think the public health side of it and the voice of science and public health were represented quite well in it.
I guess the overall question is, you feel comfortable that it's all not too strict, given our place in the world, and for example, we're going to invite tourists back, but they won't have much to do.
Well, so when we look at activities, I think I said this, but we look at risk that's involved, and we try and mitigate the risk. So outdoors is safer than indoors. Farther away from me is safer than being close to me. Short time with me is safer than being with me for hours and hours. Speaking softly is safer than us yelling or singing or shouting at each other. Wearing a mask obviously is much safer than if we're doing activities where we can't wear a mask. And so we kind of take that all into account. And I think there's almost a bit of a false dichotomy where people think that it's either the health or the economy. And I think what we really, really need to remember is that the best way to get the economy going again is to have a healthy community.
Hawaii is preparing to reopen tourism next month, but for now, visitor arrivals remain at a trickle. New figures from the Hawaii Tourism Authority show just 2.2 million visitors came to the islands through August. That's down 69% from the year before. In the month of August, arrivals were down 98% compared to the same month last year. The authority said 22,344 visitors traveled to Hawaii last month. On October 15th, the state will allow travelers who test negative for COVID-19 before arriving to forego the 14-day quarantine in what state officials are describing as the first step to rebooting tourism. But Maui County Mayor Mike Victorino is pushing for Trans-Pacific travelers to take another test once they arrive on Maui. Here's how he says it could work.
I still continue to advocate and really want 72-hour test before they come, like what the Lieutenant Governor has been talking about, and a sandwich test for our Trans-Pacific flight arrivals. Well, that will be right after they get here, so about 48 to 72 hours after they arrive. They stay in quarantine, they stay in that bubble, in that resort, and take a second test so that within 6 days they've really shown us if they have it or they don't have COVID-19.
Mayor Victorino also says he will announce more reopenings this week. Still no word on whether inter-island travel will be allowed without a quarantine.
In the next 24 hours, cruise lines hope to know if they can sail again. Howard Dykes has the details.
A ban on cruise ships sailing will quietly expire tomorrow unless the CDC extends it. Already expired a public comment period for cruise lines' request to weigh anchor. JetBlue joins United and Hawaiian in selling their passengers COVID tests, but JetBlue will mail the test to you. You swab yourself, guided by an online video. Record retail bankruptcies signal major trouble ahead. In the first half of 2020, 18 major retailers went Chapter 11, and 11 more since then, surpassing last year with months still to go. Japanese telecom giant NTT makes a tender offer to reacquire full ownership of Docomo. Expect cheaper rates if the deal goes through. Who benefits from China's Huawei woes? Finland. Britain banned Huawei over spyware, and now British Telecom signs a 5G deal with Nokia.
A new wildfire outbreak in Northern California has turned deadly. Chris Martinez has the latest on this story.
The glass fire ripping through Northern California's wine country grew to 68 square miles Tuesday.
These fires become very disastrous with the amount of structures and populace that's impacted.
Many said they barely had time to escape the flames.
We woke up in the middle of the night and there were flames. We could see flames and we ran to the car and I was in my underwear. We left with nothing. I mean, just literally with nothing.
So far, the fire has destroyed more than 100 buildings, including homes, 7 wineries, and part of the 5-star Meadowood Napa Valley luxury resort. Drone video shows how flames wiped out some homes and completely spared others in the Santa Rosa neighborhood. All 5,300 residents of the town of Calistoga were ordered to evacuate Monday afternoon. In all, the glass fire has caused about 70,000 to flee.
It was actually a great exercise to realize how unprepared I actually was. I was not. I was like a total mess and everything went wrong.
Some don't know whether they'll have homes when they return.
You're standing in your driveway and you're looking into your house going, am I ever going to see it again?
To the north, the Zonk fire has expanded to 62 square miles. It's destroyed nearly 150 buildings. About 1,200 people fled their homes ahead of the flames. As of Tuesday afternoon, there was 0% containment on either fire. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Turning to our weather now, Guy Hagi saying there are some dry conditions out there. Let's turn it over to him for the very latest.
How's it on this Tuesday? The light wind weather pattern continues, and that means higher than normal humidity levels. And there's a chance for some rain in the afternoon hours with that cloud buildup that's going to happen because of the light winds. Now, this morning we got a little bit of moisture out towards the north side of the Big Island. Other than that, you can see it's mostly dry across the state. And again, we could get afternoon showers for a handful of interior and leeward spots. Right now, we've got the strongest winds over in Maui County, but every place will have those light and variable winds, and that will lead to higher humidity levels and those afternoon cloud buildups that could hopefully lead to some showers. High temperature today running to about 90 degrees, but keep in mind, it's going to feel warmer than that because of the high humidity levels. And that's going to be what we see over the next several days. Now, over the next couple of days, the surf's going to be rising. A north swell is coming up tonight. It's going to peak tomorrow, and then again, a reinforcement coming on Friday from the northwest. Big waves could trigger high surf alerts by tonight, maybe tomorrow. And the South Shore still have some fun waves, but they're on the way down. So we've got this light wind weather pattern. It's going to hold firm all the way through Saturday with high humidity levels, some afternoon clouds and some afternoon showers. Otherwise, basically calm weather, although it is going to be sticky. Breezy trading is not due back until maybe Sunday. Keep it here on Hawaii News Now. We'll have all your severe weather updates.
A sailor's letter documenting the end of World War II goes missing. Then it resurfaces right here in Hawaii. Now the family still needs help getting it back. Melanie Yamaguchi has the story.
Thomas Charles was just a 22-year-old sailor when he witnessed the Japanese surrender of World War II while aboard the battleship Missouri.
He sent a letter home to his parents saying, I guess essentially that, he was fine and that the war was over and that he witnessed the signing of the peace treaty, and he was, as I said, all the way up in the crow's nest looking down on it.
Charles died in July at age 97, just months before the 75th anniversary of the end of the war. And the letter he sent home all those years ago was sold on eBay about a month ago.
To us, it would be like having a piece of Dad back with us, something that he obviously cherished because he was looking for it for a number of years, and we certainly would love to have it.
Charles' daughter says the seller held on to the letter for 27 years, hoping to one day find its rightful owner. But after many failed attempts, he decided to sell it on eBay for the 75th anniversary. By the time he found the family, it was too late. The letter had been sold to someone in Hawaii.
Of course, I was heartbroken when I found out.
Carol Charles Ball says the seller has tried to contact the buyer twice to ask him to return it, but has not gotten a response. Now, she's hoping her father's story will compel the buyer to hand the letter over. The missing piece of a puzzle, she says, will help keep his memory alive.
We have a little memorial of Dad. We have a picture of him as a sailor, and which was probably one of his favorite pictures. And geez, we would love to have that back with the family. It's a piece of the family. It's a piece of Dad.
Melanie Yamaguchi, Hawaii News Now.
Thank you, Mel. Now let's see what the internet's talking about. Many were devastated by the passing of Chadwick Boseman. He starred in films like The Black Panther. Well, a former co-star is sharing new details about the actor. Sienna Miller told Empire magazine that Boseman made sure she was paid fairly for their film 21 Bridges. She said she was not given the salary she asked for, so Boseman donated some of his salary to get her the number she wanted to be at. Miller added that at the time she didn't really want to work. She was very busy, but she did want to do the film with Boseman. He died last month after a years-long battle with cancer, and he was just 43 years old.
Amazing to hear that. And we're hearing more and more great stories about his life.
Such a loss.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's talk about Disney Plus, because if you're like so many people binge watching program after program alone at home, you don't have to do it anymore, because like Netflix, Disney Plus is offering what they're calling Group Watch. So you and 7 of your friends and family members from anywhere can watch and sync all together. Basically, you just send out an invite to who you want to invite, and then Disney Plus will sort of do the rest and allow you to react to the program as well in real time. I haven't tried this out on Netflix yet, but I'm willing to. It sounds really fun. It seems like a giant Zoom party, really.
Yeah, you just have to agree all together what you're going to watch.
Yeah, what would we watch, Ashley? Simpsons?
I would watch The Simpsons.
Yeah, you said you just downloaded the Mulan, or were interested in the Mulan.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mandalorian coming very soon.
That's true. And speaking of documentaries, pop singer Billie Eilish, she's only 18 years old, but there's already a documentary about her life. According to Billboard magazine, Billie Eilish, The World's a Little Blurry, hits theaters and Apple TV Plus in February. Now, Eilish was Billboard's 2019 Woman of the Year, and she went on to make history at the 2020 Grammys, becoming the first woman to win the Big Four awards in the same night. That's album, record, Song of the Year, and Best New Artist. She also won Best Pop Vocal Album.
Yeah, I know a lot about her recent accomplishments, but being so young, I really don't know too much about her backstory, so might be interesting content.
I just don't know how someone that young can handle all that success and fame, and it's a lot.
I know, I couldn't imagine. All right. And let's talk about a very big holiday that's taking shape right now, right?
Yep. If you are like millions of American consumers, every day is coffee day. But today is what the industry calls National Coffee Day. So Michael George looks at the biggest trends in coffee drinking and where you can go for some freebies.
Bashir Vabakir lost his job during the pandemic, but he still spends as much as $200 a month on coffee.
In my mind, it marks the start of my day. So yeah, it's an important part of my day, really.
Can you get through a day without a cup of coffee?
Not really.
September 29th is National Coffee Day, which means Java addicts have more choices than usual.
My coffee was free. Hers, we paid for hers, mine was free.
Dunkin' Donuts is just one of several chains trying to brew up extra business by offering coffee lovers a special deal for one day only. Dunkin' is offering a free cup, but only with an additional purchase. Krispy Kreme is also handing out free coffee, and Starbucks kicked off a month of special giveaways. While this is the industry's official holiday, for the majority of us, every day is coffee day. According to an industry trade group, 62% of Americans drink coffee every day. That's a 5% increase since 2015. Gourmet coffee made from premium beans is popular with millennials, increasing the nation's consumption by 25% in 5 years. And in the midst of the pandemic, more people are picking up their daily coffee at drive-thrus or ordering through apps. How important is that cup of coffee for you?
It is very important. 1 cup a day before 9 o'clock, always.
All told, 7 in 10 Americans say they drink coffee at least once a week. So even if we're not all Java junkies, most of us do have a taste for it. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
And Ashley had to hear me say, yuck.
Yeah, Jonathan and I are those 3 out of the 10 who don't drink coffee every day.
I love tea. I love Lion's tea right down the street. So
I love
good.
coffee ice cream.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't even go there.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't mind that.
But I would give this a shot. Hershey's is bringing back its beer collab with Yingling. Hershey's debuted this with them, this porter, last year, and now they're bringing it back for a limited time. The beer comes in drafts and bottles, sold in 22 states. No word if we're going to get that. The chocolate porter will be available through Valentine's Day.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I haven't had a Yingling in a long time. Yeah.
Very, very old beer company.
Okay, well, listen up, all you fashion-forward fellas. That's you, John. Amazon wants to help you out. So the company is offering personal shoppers to Prime members. It started for women last year, and now it's the guys' turn. So here's how it works. For $5 a month, you'll be able to choose up to 8 items of clothing, and it'll all get sent your way to try on. Then you just pay for the ones you want, and you send the rest back within 7 days. And you can also make specific outfit requests, like if you have a job interview coming up, or a special occasion.
I'll just keep sending you pictures, Ashley.
I'll let you know. And you guys, Amazon Prime Day is going to have some competition this year. Target is bringing back its deal days on October 13th and 14th, same days as Prime Day. A Target spokesperson says the 2-day sale includes digital deals or on twice as many items compared to the year before.
You guys, that's going to do it for This Is Now on this Tuesday. Thank you so much for being with us. Don't forget, we have a podcast. You can find it anywhere you find your podcasts. Just search H&N. You guys have a great day.